In My Hero Academia, Star and Stripe is absolutely the most insane hero in the entire show. And I'm not even talking about her power. Because yeah, obviously her quirk is broken. She's literally out here using the atmosphere like a weapon and punching Shigaraki with nuclear level attacks. But that's not what makes this fight legendary to me. What makes Star and Stripe different is the way she dies. Because most heroes in anime go out trying to survive. And Star and Stripe basically looked at the strongest villain in the entire world and said, if I'm going down, I'm taking your entire future with me. And the craziest part is this entire story started with just one moment with All Might years earlier. One moment that completely changed her life forever. Which means this wasn't just a fight between a hero and a villain. This was basically All Might's ideology fighting against All for One's ideology through another person. And honestly, by the end of this fight, Star and Stripe might have done more damage to Shigaraki than anybody else in the entire series. Because first off, can we talk about how absurd her aura is? Like bro, the second she appears on screen, My Hero Academia starts to feel like an American action movie. The jets flying beside her, the giant lasers, and her confidence in that giant muscle form. Everything about Star and Stripe screams, yeah, this woman has never lost before. But that makes perfect sense because unlike most heroes in My Hero Academia, Star and Stripe was inspired by Prime All Might. Not Teacher All Might or Weekend All Might, but the prime symbol of peace and justice himself. That flashback where young Kathleen gets saved by him is actually way more important than people realize. Because you can literally see the exact moment her identity was created. All Might doesn't just save her family physically, he gives her a purpose. That's why she copies his smile, his confidence, and even his presence, which makes her one of the purest examples of his legacy in the entire series. And that's actually why this fight hurts so much, because the person facing Shigaraki here is basically All Might's first student. When the actual fight starts, Star and Stripe starts using some of the most creative quirk usage in the entire show. And this is why New Order is so cool to me, because not only is it strong, but it also requires imagination. That's why Shigaraki saying he'll use her quirk in ways she never imagined is such a disrespectful line. Because he's basically telling her you've had so much power your whole life, you've never even really learned to truly use it. And honestly, you can see that line visibly affects her. Because before this point, Star and Stripe fights like somebody who's overwhelmingly stronger than everybody she's ever faced. But Shigaraki is different. This dude survived the atmosphere attack, he survived the laser spear attack, and he even survived the nuclear attack. And by the way, how he survives is actually crazy too. It wasn't even through strength, but through strategy. Using the Nomu as a distraction, Shigaraki decays into the earth, avoiding the majority of the impact. And suddenly, the strongest woman in the world realizes, oh no, this dude is actually built different. And then comes the moment when it genuinely feels like it's all over. Because Shigaraki finally gets close enough to steal New Order. And really, this is one of the scariest moments in My Hero Academia. Not because Star and Stripe might die, but because everybody instantly starts thinking the same thing. What happens if Shigaraki gets that quirk? Like bro, actually think about how terrifying that sounds. Shigaraki with decay alone is already a civilization-ending threat. Now imagine giving him reality manipulation too. That's literally game over, bro. And what makes this even sadder is that Star and Stripe knows she's probably about to die. But she doesn't panic, she's not crying or begging, and she's not even afraid. Instead, she starts thinking. And this is where she becomes one of my favorite heroes in the entire show. Because instead of trying to save herself, she starts planning on how she's going to destroy Shigaraki after her death. And this is where Star and Stripe turns into an absolute menace. Because right before her quirk gets stolen, she creates one final rule. New Order will rage against any other quirk it comes into contact with. Bro, that is actually one of the coldest final moments in all of anime. Because she basically turned herself into a biological Trojan horse. And the craziest part about it all is Shigaraki still doesn't realize what's about to happen to him. At first he thinks he's won as Star and Stripe's body starts to decay. Then we get hit with one of the coolest visuals in the entire series. New Order manifesting itself inside of Shigaraki's metaphysical quirk world. And bro, Star and Stripe starts moving different inside there. She's literally ripping quirks apart from the inside out. She's destroying abilities, tearing through his arsenal, and making his body explode in the real world. And for real, I think this low-key proves something terrifying about Star and Stripe. Her willpower might have been even stronger than her actual quirk. Because now Shigaraki starts panicking for real, and that almost never happens. This dude usually looks calm no matter what, but Star and Stripe genuinely damaged him psychologically. He's literally trying to escape his own quirks. And what makes this so satisfying is that Star and Stripe already accepted death. And honestly, this is why I think she's one of the most underrated characters in My Hero Academia. People talk about her like she was just there to lose. But nah, she permanently nerfed the strongest villain while dying. Like, think about if Shigaraki never lost all of those quirks. That would have been insane. And the symbolism symbolism behind it all is beautiful too, because even after death, All Might's influence is still destroying All for One's empire, all through Star and Stripe, and that's actually peak writing if you ask me.